So when I met him, I like went up to him and I hugged him, and like the A&R people that was like, well, that's never happened before. that was new. But you could tell he was like, he was like,
It's like, who is this guy?
yeah, he was, who is this guy, whatever. And but he thought it was cool. It was funny. And then it could link to MNO Records and Tarantula Hill.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We were rolling, yeah?
We're still rolling. Yeah.
Okay, let's jump into this Mammoth Crush.
Let's drink some beer.
Who did the art on this one?
This is a Murdoch can.
Murdoch.
Yeah, Murdoch. So this is our third sort of Mammoth area can. We've done 2 collab beers with June Lake, which is kind of in the area, but June, they have their own mountain, obviously. But yeah, we did two cans with them, Tomahawk Yard Sale, and see if I can see it over there. Can't remember what the second one. The second one was like the sort of the summer edition, the mountain bike one. It'll come to me in a sec. But then this one we did exclusively for Mammoth Mountain.
So it's on the mountain.
It's on the mountain. Yeah, it's in basically the cans. I think there's like 6 restaurants on the mountain and 6 shops on the mountain. So obviously there's the cans. So they're in all the shops.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's on draft up there yet. But I think if it does well, which I think it is doing well, then eventually we'll be in this beer should hopefully be in the restaurants up there as well.
This can's really cool. Can I take a look at it?
Yeah, grab one because we're gonna have to. We don't have it on draft at the moment, so we're gonna be drinking out of that can. You can crack that open when you're ready. I guess we could each.
I'll let you pour it. What do you want to do?
The dude scorpioning.
Yeah.
Hold that up to your camera, Jeff.
Oh, is that what that's called when someone?
When your heels are like going over your head, yeah.
Scorpion. You never watched Ridiculousness?
No. What do they call that in surfing when you go? Like
when you nose, it's called a pearl dive.
Yes, that's what I was looking for.
Yes.
Because you're going into the pearls.
You're diving down for pearls. When you go nose in, it's also called being a kook. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's called Mammoth Crush because that's a crushable 5.5% IPA. It's definitely got all the nice hoppiness of an IPA, but it's like designed specifically just to be on the mountain and just smash a few of them.
You can have more than one of these.
Yeah, and it's not you're not gonna get palate fatigue from it being like overly hoppy and bitter. So yeah, it's crushable. Mammoth Crush. It's awesome.
It's tasty.
Yeah.
Who is the brewer behind this one?
The brewer? It's I couldn't tell you, to be honest. It's probably Mike on this one. Yeah. I would imagine it's Mike. I think Mike definitely has a special place for Mammoth. Like all of our activity in Mammoth is based on him. His family has a house in Mammoth, an amazing house. We've got to stay there for Bluesapalooza. So he has a lot of connections up there in Mammoth. His family's been going there for decades. Yeah, so every year for the last couple years, we've been fortunate enough to be invited to the Bluesapalooza Fest up there in Mammoth.
Okay.
Which is like, if you're going to go to one beer festival, that's the one. It's like blues all weekend long, and then the beer festival is just in a forest. You're just in the middle of a forest, and like people are just roaming around drinking. it's just awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's it's summertime, so the weather's beautiful up there, and
I've never been to Mammoth.
wow, that's a
It's a statement.
that's a must in your future. Yeah, you should go with us next year for the Palooza.
Deal.
You would dig it.
I'm down.
Yeah, or we could go now. It's dumping up there. They're gonna have the ski season up there is gonna last till like July probably. They've got they've been his dad Mike's dad was the other day showing me pictures of their driveway, and they had to have someone come in and with some a truck or something to scrape out their driveway. He got through to the driveway so they get the car out when they went to leave, and it was the snow on the either side was just a wall,
Yep.
2 stories
That's crazy.
tall of snow.
That's insane.
Yeah, and then the house is like a 3 or 4 story house, and then like just on the roof of the house is like another story. It's insane. Like
Yeah, you got to get that snow off those roofs.
yeah. And then he said it was crazy because like people like getting these things and they come up and like blow the snow up onto the top, but then they blow it over onto it goes down onto the neighbor's side, and they're blowing it back. There's like
Right.
snow wars going on up there.
I know a lot about snow, but not that level of snow.
Yeah, that's some crazy mountain shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time shoveling snow and
Yeah.
snow blowing snow and plowing snow. That's why I haven't been to Mammoth yet.
Oh, gotcha.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm ready.
Not high on the list for it. It's like a
But
different.
it's different.
It's a different kind of cold.
This is what I want to talk about.
Yeah. Okay.
Is skiing.
Okay.
I have this thing about everybody loves going skiing, and I think people forget how old they are, and that skiing's an actual Olympic sport, by the way. And everybody just thinks that they can just go skiing, and they think they're in shape for skiing. So many people
Get ski injuries.
get injuries.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous.
It is pretty dangerous.
Like, how fast do you get going down?
I mean, you
one
can.
of those.
You can. The cool thing about skiing is that there's have you heard of
Riding a bike.
It's
It's
called.
like riding a bike.
It is, to be honest. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I've taken 10 years off of skiing, and I get into snowboarding for a while, and then I'll go back to skiing, and it's like riding a bike.
But how many times do people actually ski a year? Like an average person.
An average
in
person,
California.
if you're lucky,
If you like to go to Mammoth, twice, 3
Yeah.
times.
twice, 2, yeah, exactly. I tend to go sometimes I'm not like most people that go every season. I just go whenever the opportunity comes.
Right.
But the cool thing about skiing is that it's called snow plowing, and
Oh, I know how to snow plow.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever. So anybody can do that, and you could go down the gnarliest mountain and just whatever.
Just go slow and kind of
Yeah,
enjoy
just kind of go slow, and then
That's true.
whatever.
I always picture everyone just thinking that they're
mobbing
so,
down the hill.
so in control, and they're just gonna
Yeah.
crush it.
No.
They get a taste, and they go
Yeah.
down again, and they're
Yeah.
3-4 runs in, they're like, oh man,
Yeah.
I got everything going on here.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna try some jumps.
Exactly. No, for me, I prefer snowboarding at this point. And then the snowboarding is not like riding a bike. Every time, even if I go a season back to back, that first time getting back out there, there's a learning curve again.
Right.
And just remembering how to edge and all that stuff. And then you feel like a total beginner in the beginning, moving around and getting on the lift, and then it comes back to you, halfway through the day, and then you just feel like now I can just mash, I can just charge it, but I'm still I don't really have this if it goes sideways on me and I eat shit going this fast, it's
Right.
gonna end very badly.
At least the skis fly off.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're stuck to that board.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It can get gnarly for sure.
Yeah.
But it's so fun to
That's the
just
safety
go
guy in me.
fast.
I'm just the guy
Yeah.
that ruins the party.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be dancing on that. It's too high.
The risk management.
Yeah, I'm the risk management sometimes.
Jeff O'Sha.
Josha.
Josha. Like Billy Ocean.
That's my
but
name.
Oh yeah.
Billy O'Sha.
Billy Ocean.
That'd be a good name for a band. Billy O'Sha.
Oh, I had the best name for a band today. So my son's taking French class. So he's really amused by these French words. He brings it up all the time. And I took German in high school, and I took it in college too. So I was really good at remembering words, but I wasn't like once it got really complex sentence structures, I like sucked.
Yeah.
But words come to be. Well, one of the we're talking about glass or the window because we're driving the car, and I said, I think you'd probably get a kick out of what glass or a window is in German. It's Das Fenster, and then I was thinking Fenster. Fenster would be a badass band. You guys are in Fenster? Yeah, we're in Fenster. Doesn't that sound like a cool name?
I don't know.
Yes, it does.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks. Oh my god.
Yes,
You ruined that.
Fenster.
Fenster sounds badass. I think it's spelled F-E-N, if this helps.
Yeah.
F-E-N-S-T-E-R. Fenster.
For some reason, it reminds me of like, wasn't there like a thing? I gotta wait for Josh to get his headphones back on.
What's up?
Josh, wasn't there a thing like somewhere between like MySpace and Facebook that was called Friendster?
Yeah, there's a Friendster.
Yeah, Friendster.
It's totally different.
No idea.
Friendster
That's-
and Fenster. Okay,
That's,
okay.
that's all I'm hearing is Friendster.
Friendster.
What was
Yeah.
Friendster like?
Friendster?
Yeah, what was that like?
Shit.
Failure.
Yeah, it was a big
Nobody
fail for
knows.
sure. Yeah, somebody spent like $1 billion.
MySpace happened, I think, right out of Santa Monica.
Oh yeah.
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 I know the VCs, or one of the guys ended up being a VC. He had a business, had spun on a whole bunch of different kind of internet type stuff. But they're right in, actually they're in Venice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a party
Friendster.
one
I haven't
time.
thought about Friendster in a long time.
The guy that owned MySpace, not Tom. Remember Tom?
My,
He was
number,
like-
my number one friend. Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody's
exactly.
friend.
Everyone's number one friend. He might have been like the CEO or something, but the guy that owned MySpace had a house in the Hollywood Hills, and I went to a Halloween party there, and it was clearly like a house that he had just for parties.
Mm.
Like there was like all these like built-in bookcases and stuff that had nothing in it. And yeah, it was
Isn't that insane? This guy made himself everyone's friend. Like,
Yeah.
How sad. How sad.
That was pretty sad. But I will tell you though, like when MySpace came out at the time, like being in a band, like a DIY band, as I
Right.
was at that time, like being on an independent label,
Yeah.
MySpace was the shit. Like when it came out, like and the main thing was that like you had a skin. I don't know if you remember, like you could you could pick something that would be the skin. So like you could pick like the OPM logos, and it would just be like repeat on the back of your page, and then everyone got to pick one song. It was your picture on your profile, and then right underneath it was a play button, and it was you got to pick a song, and then so like that was your profile
interesting.
came up with a song.
So people are using your songs?
Yes, people were using our songs.
Oh.
And then it was almost like this was kind of right in the time also there was message boards. So it was kind of like a message board that anyone in the world could get onto.
Right.
So like when we were touring and whatnot, like there were all these people all over the country that, I don't remember exactly how it worked, but they were all linked together, So
Right.
like we would just basically post our tour schedule on our MySpace page.
Right.
And it
I mean,
was like,
they're the first place that you could modify like a web page
yeah, exactly.
for you.
Your own kind of, exactly.
You could
exactly. And
modify
then
the content.
Our band had our own MySpace page.
Right.
And that was like it was really well done, and like for the time or whatever, and like Facebook obviously like crushed it, but Facebook was
It was
in the
evolution,
beginning
though.
was very different,
Yeah, I think Brett Brewer, who is in Venice and has Crosscut Ventures, was a part of that. If it was part of his business, or they shot out a variety of different internet type things, and then from there, I think he maybe, I'm guessing, kind of went into the next stage of raising, because I believe it's sold to, was it AOL, or they
Yeah.
sold it.
Yeah, they did all right, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they did all right, and I think
They
I'm
sold it
guessing
and then
that
it
he
died.
kind of crossed over,
Yeah.
and then he started Crosscut, which has invested in some of the most like iconic tech companies,
Wow.
like out of LA. They're one of the first really well known, them and Upfront, one really well known VC firms in this area.
Interesting.
What I don't get is since MySpace, there hasn't really been a social platform that's let you be as expressive though. In a capacity.
Exactly.
Like everybody on MySpace, you were basically like a mini back-end developer. You had to pull code to make your skins if you wanted like a complicated skin.
Yeah.
Like all the music stuff. Like there hasn't been anything that's given you that much freedom.
No.
And I'm sure there's a good reason why, but it's just
No, and Facebook is
wonder.
still like that. Like you still don't have that freedom.
I mean, Instagram, Facebook, any social platform, Twitter, all of them, they're not going to give you the same kind of.
No.
And the biggest
Creative.
thing, being any sort of artist or business or whatever, you're slave to the platform.
Yeah,
So this
absolutely.
platform is great and people can come to it, but if that platform dies, I mean, the only thing that people like really search for now is email addresses. It's the only thing that you can hold on and keep in contact with someone if that platform dies. So
Yeah, no, that's interesting to say because like for us, like we, it took us years to build up our MySpace, like to the point where we had like, I don't remember what it was, but we had, like in the hundreds of thousands of followers.
right.
And then literally like when Facebook kind of, took that turn or whatever, MySpace just fell off the side of a cliff
Right.
and we had to start all over.
100,000 followers disappeared.
Just gone.
Right.
It was crazy. And it seemed like it was going to be like this transition they were just going to swap over, but it didn't. And then it was the same thing. And then like literally by the time Instagram came out, like we just like gave up. Like the OPM Instagram page has, we just, whatever. I remember one time looking on something, whatever, trying to figure out how to like transfer all the, the friends or whatever, whatever it was. But it's
Is
just
there a way to send a direct message
Dude,
to each one?
yeah. it
Find me
was
over
like-
on Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, Friendster.
They
I
don't.
mean, Instagram
yeah.
or Twitter.
It was like devastating, to be honest.
If you look at it now, it's you have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have Snapchat, you have all these different ones, and they're all like they're the channels now. We used to it's like ABC
Right, exactly.
and NBC,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
they're all these. They're
Yeah.
kind of the channels that
Yeah.
people go and put their attention
Twitter is
into.
like the news version,
right. People on Twitter are jerks.
I agree.
That's what I think.
Yeah, Twitter.
I don't
is
get
garbage.
Twitter. Most of the comments that I see, especially in my industry, is someone like, I just had a phone call with someone and they said this, and isn't that wrong? People shouldn't say things
Yeah.
like that. And I always think like, that person that just had a phone call with you or a meeting with you that you're talking about, you're not concerned that they're going to read that?
Yeah.
They're all snarky. People are super snarky.
It's keyboard warriors.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the term, keyboard warrior.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I mean,
like
some of these are
soapbox for-
public people though, like that. They're just
Yeah.
not like a kid hiding in his bedroom saying something. These are like people, well-known people that they
Yeah.
feel like. I think you get praised on Twitter for being kind of negative
Oh, absolutely.
and,
The-
and trying to show
Yeah.
other people's flaws.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I don't like about Twitter.
That's what I don't like about people. So yeah, I don't fuck with Twitter at all.
Yeah,
It's just
I go
ugly.
on there and I try and
Yeah.
I try and like
No.
every time I go on, it's just negativity.
Yeah.
They
I
got
like
the best memes
Instagram.
though. They got the best memes. Twitter memes are undefeated for sure.
I like Instagram because I'm probably more of a visual person. I'd prefer to look at something.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Okay, let's move on to our next beer.
Which is what, the mango?
Hello, Brian.
Brian,
Mango.
thank you, my friend.
Hello. All right. Cheers. We're just rolling, right?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Cheers. This is the Mango Fo'Sho, the new and improved 2.0.
Mango for sure. Oh, I mean, sorry.
Fo'Sho. It's definitely got some mango up in there. Look at that. This isn't.
They did the color right on this one.
Yeah. It's pretty
Man.
much a work of art, to be quite honest.
Translucent.
The color, the taste, the can art.
Who did the can art on this one?
That's a Dave Carlson.
Oh, it's Dave Carlson.
Yeah.
I saw him on the MNO Show.
Yeah. That's right.
Good guy.
Yes. He's one of my favorite humans.
I understand why.
Yeah, he's legit. Yeah, so this is the Mango Fo'Sho.
How long have you guys had this one on tap?
So we did the mango Fo'Sho last year. It's been a little while since it came out, but this year, it's 2023. So along with our core line, we're doing a seasonal line that'll be quarterly, and each quarter will have a new fruited hazy.
Okay.
So this is like one of our ones that we've done in the past that is a big hit. This is like a new and improved recipe. Mike did this one. He tweaked on it quite a bit, added a little bit more mango, and I believe the ABV. No, it's the same.
7.5.
7.5. I think it's the same.
It's I think it's a little less.
I think it was like 8.2 before.
Yeah.
You're right. It was a little higher, so he lowered the ABV. It's a hazy. It's basically closer to Paradise Falls than Liquid Candy. Kind of like two base hazy recipes that they work with. So basically it's Paradise Falls. Our second one that's going to come out is going to be Paradise Falls Mai Tai. So it's basically this like a similar base, and then it's the Mai Tai. The third one is going to be Summer Dreams, which is, that one's strawberry, right, Josh?
Yeah. Was it strawberry and guava?
Strawberry and guava or strawberry kiwi?
I don't believe it was kiwi.
Strawberry guava? Okay, that sounds about right. And then the fourth one will be apricot. Oh, we talked about that.
Right.
Because you would say apricot.
Apricot.
Apricot. We say apricot. Wait, what do I?
Wait, you said
What do I
apricot.
say?
You said apricot.
No,
when
he
you
said
first
apricot.
I said
Did he?
apricot?
But he changed it. I've
Oh,
converted him to
dang, you
apricot.
converted me to
Yeah.
an appy instead
Yeah.
of an ape. Yeah.
It's
so
taken a little while, but I'll figure you out.
when I was a kid, we had an apricot tree in our backyard, and it grew apricots.
Did that make a mess?
Yeah, the birds.
Right.
It was always trying to
Squirrels.
keep it netted.
Rats?
Yeah, it was. It's crazy how much fruit they produce, and you can't keep up with it. So they fall on the ground, they rot, and yeah.
Was that
The
vermin?
cores-
Did you
the
have,
cores
did
would
you have
always
jobs growing up? Like, hey, John, you got to go out and get all the apricots. Got to go shovel them up.
I did. That
Put them in a bag.
That was a job of mine.
Was it?
Yeah, rotten fucking fruit. Yeah, my mom was every year was like, I'm gonna make apricot jam. And that happened like once.
Your mom was like 80 when you were She sounded so old. I've met your mom. She sounds younger than that
She's
now.
younger now, yeah. Yeah, she always wanted to make apricot jam. And, yeah, I think she did it once or twice.
You should buy your mom some apricot jam.
I should. That would be nice. Now that I think about it, this beer originated with a collab with Chef. This was a Chef collab.
No way.
Yeah, the brewers invited Chef over to do a beer, and they came up with the concept of doing a hazy with mango in it. And
Interesting.
similar to like a special, whatever. Chef had a bunch of mango, and so he made the puree for them here in house. Yeah, and we did like a small 5-barrel batch of it. It was amazing. Everyone loved it.
You're like, we got to make more of this.
Yeah, we're gonna make more of it. And then the idea this year to do like a seasonal, we kind of like two of our best sellers are the Mai Tai and the mango. And then the Summer Dream came out last year, and that one popped off awesome too.
Do you have any idea how much mango you bought?
For this? So this is going into distribution with Stone.
Yeah.
Like we bought like 55-gallon barrels of mango puree.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's 100% mango. Yeah, like amazing fruit. It comes from Oregon.
Oh, it comes from Oregon.
Yep. I don't know if the mangoes are grown in Oregon, but the company is in Oregon. All of the fruits that we're doing for these all comes from a company in Oregon. Yeah, I don't know where the mangoes come from. I would imagine they don't grow mangoes in Oregon.
I guess I wouldn't know.
I would say they're probably from like
Your mom's backyard.
yeah.
Burned you.
Oh damn.
Still picking up those mangoes.
Mm-hmm. I used to pick up fucking apricots and dog shit.
I
Yeah.
had 2 Labrador Retrievers my whole life.
I had a Springer Spaniel, but she shit for 2 labs.
I think look up the origin of shit for 2 labs, because I think I've heard that before.
2 labs, 1 cup.
Shits for 2 labs.
2 labs, 1 cup. That's amazing. No, my dog shit like.
Have you ever tried to clean up
too much?
Dog shit
In the
frozen
snow?
ice?
No.
Yeah.
Never had the
Shipping
pleasure.
the ice and trying to get that.
Yeah, never.
That
had.
seems easier. It's not wet, solid.
Well, you get that in the summer.
Okay.
Fair.
You get it's kind of like, 4
Soup.
seasons of beer here. You get 4 seasons of getting after the dog crap.
Yeah.
And then we had our kennel lined with canis. You know what canis is?
No, what is that?
It's a type of thing that would grow. It's a plant, but they grow really high. And then my mom didn't like that their weeds got in the canis, and that was on the outside of the kennel. One of my jobs is go pull all the weeds out of the canis, which is where we cleaned off the crap, and then you'd spray out the dog kennel, and all the leftover crap would get in.
Fertilizer.
Fertilizer.
That's why the weeds were
It
happy.
grew, yes, but then I had to peel all those out with my hands.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yum.
I love this beer.
Yeah. This next segment is called. What do we call this segment? Song talk. Oh yeah, I know this song. Yeah.
That's that song gets stuck in my head. So somewhere further than the valley.
Correct.
I remember you guys playing that song.
Yeah.
I think the last time that you guys
We played here, yeah.
played here.
Yes.
So that's on. What album is that on?
That was on California Poppy. The inspiration for that song came from when we got signed. We got flown out to New York to go meet with a couple different labels.
Right.
We met with Virgin, Elektra, and ultimately we ended up signing with Atlantic. So when we met Atlantic, they were taking us around the offices or whatever, and we got to go to Ahmet Erdogan's office, who is, for those who don't know, he was a famous jazz musician, sold a lot of records as a musician, and then started Atlantic, signed Led Zeppelin.
That helps.
That helped a little bit for his cause, obviously, and then went on to sign, like Rush and AC/DC and a couple other little bands during that era. But anyways, so when I worked in the music industry before I even thought about being in a band. So I was kind of like a fanboy on this guy.
Yeah, you're right.
But I got to meet him,
You're
and
right. He's a legend.
He's a legend,
Right.
in the music industry. Maybe not so much as a musician or whatever, but someone in the music industry who appreciated these guys that worked in the industry or whatever. Guy's a legend, anyways, so when I met him, I went up to him and I hugged him, and the A&R people that was like, well, that's never happened before. that was new. But you could tell he was he was
It's like, who is this guy?
yeah, who is this guy, whatever. And but he thought it was cool. It was funny. But anyway, so we sat and we were having this conversation with him, and obviously, he was like, oh, so I heard the song "Heaven Is a Half Pipe." We're excited, to try and get you guys to come to the label, blah blah blah. And then we're talking about it, or we're kind of getting to know each other a little bit more or whatever. And then he's kind of asking all of us where we're from.
Right.
And I told him I'm from Thousand Oaks, and he's like, Thousand Oaks, I think I've heard of that. Is that in the valley? And I go, no, it's further than the valley.
Okay.
And he thought that was really funny. and he was like, "That's an amazing title for a song, like Further Than the Valley." Like
He said that right then?
yeah. He's like, "If you guys write a song called Further Than the Valley, I'll buy you a half pipe." That's what. That's just what he said. But yeah. So oddly enough, like I started writing that song shortly after that, and then it kind of just sat, and it didn't even make it on that record. And then of course, you know, at the time I thought, you know, we were going to be on Atlantic forever.
Right. So
but
that song will come
yeah,
out
exactly.
sometime.
At some
down the
point
road.
it'll come out, and
You'll get your half pipe.
we'll get our half pipe, and we'll make Amit very happy. But obviously after the first record we got dropped, so that never happened. But so it kind of just sat, and then we did our second record, which was For the Masses, and then the third record was California Poppy, and it finally surfaced.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's one of my favorite songs.
thank you.
I don't know if it's because I live further than the valley.
Yeah,
Now.
because you live out here.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's why.
It's weird because we never played it, so it never got, you know, no one ever. I don't know. I mean, there's definitely a lot of there's a chunk of our fan base who California Poppy is their favorite record.
The
Strangely,
Paul's Boutique.
No, For the Masses would be the Paul's Boutique.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the second record. This was our third record. But yeah, we never played it, so that's why I like it. When, you know, and we never played in Thousand Oaks before Tarantula Hill either. You know, which just kind of sucked. I never
Oh,
got
that's
to
crazy.
play in my hometown all that time.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. So then when we had the opportunity to play here, it was just amazing, and I was like, and
Sounds better here, I bet.
it does, yeah. It only makes sense here. I don't know
Right.
if we would play it anywhere else. But yeah, it was really exciting for me to get to play it here in my hometown, because the song is about here. It's about, you know, it's about my home, you know, like, yeah.
Well, as I said before, I'm lyric blind.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know any lyrics. like I love music, but I don't listen to lyrics. So tell me what is the song about?
Yeah, I mean, it's just roughly like when I was growing up here, there was not a lot to do, you know. It was like we were in the burbs, deep in the burbs, you know. So like, especially for kids, not a lot there wasn't a lot to do for adults, you know. But for kids, it was like, you know, it was, you know. So like, you know, we skated and whatever, and then like there was like a, you know, this suburban subculture that existed where, you know, like we were like just so bored, kind of. We you know, we would drink a lot and smoke a lot and do a lot of drugs, and you know, it was just trying to keep ourselves entertained. That's like when I, you know, the second I was like 16, I got my driver's license, so I go and see what was in Hollywood, and I was always fascinated by LA. And as soon as I could get down there, I moved down there. And then when I left here, I swore I would never come back to this town, you know. And then, but then as I traveled the world touring, I started to see, you know, beyond,
Right.
and started to really realize how fortunate I was to live in this place.
Yeah. Grow up
You
in
know,
it.
to grow up here.
Safe.
Yeah, safe, beautiful.
Right.
You know, the education system, you know, like I was half paying attention, and I got a better education than most people in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, these things that we have, you know, like you know, you just drive around here and everything is manicured and beautiful, and people care, and you know, it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. We're 30 minutes from some of the best surf places, you know, in the state, in the world, for that matter. You know,
Right.
when you consider that, you know, most of the world is landlocked, you know.
Yep.
And then we can drive an hour the other direction and go skiing or snowboarding or,
Right.
you know, whatever. Like, just, you know,
You got mountains,
Yeah.
ocean.
everything.
Right.
It's just so lucky. And like, you know, I guess had I written the song at the time, you know, that originally the idea came out or whatever, probably wouldn't even come as, you know, because that was my first time ever being in New York at that time, you know what I mean? Like, and I was just in shock at that point or whatever. So, you know, being our third record, I had done a lot of touring and whatnot, and it sunk in,
Right.
you know? it was just this. That's what the song is about. Just this great appreciation of like, you know, just like, and then me getting to go out and tour all over the world. And it was kind of was like I wrote the song to be like, I could be playing the song in front of these people and just sharing like, hey, I just want you to know there's like,
there's a place.
yeah, there's this place. You know,
Right.
It's further than the valley.
Right.
And it's like the most beautiful place on earth. You
Yeah.
know, and you know, just about my hometown.